Good morning, Dragonlings. All right, it says we're live. Let me double check everything, make sure we actually are. Do. All right, it's working on my end, so. Okay. Hello, good morning or good evening, whichever time it is, wherever you are in the world. For those who don't know, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes. I have 3 books out. I'm working on a bunch more. I'm working on a whole lot of things, and I have a lot going on. I need you. Yeah, because I've already finished my monster. So, what are we working on today? We are going to be doing some sprints. I figured out how to get the Forest app extension on my computer, so I don't have to use my phone anymore for the Forest app. It has a very simple timer where you just pick your tree, pick your time, and go. I don't know how to start it though. I have to figure that out. Click the tree to start planting. Never mind, I figured it out. That was simple. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put our prompt as usual. If you're new here, what I do is I put a prompt on the screen during the timer, and you can choose whether or not you want to write it. You don't have to. It just varies. It's up to you. Hi, puppies. I have puppies surrounding me. What else? I also put the timer on the screen so that you can keep up with it that way. Hello, Nadim. Good morning. Or I think it's evening for you, actually. So good evening, if it is in day to evening. What is everyone working on today? Are you doing Camp Nano? And if so, where do you stand with it? I am in limbo with my anthology submission until the editor gets it back to me so I can do edits. I know final edits are due on the 24th, so I'm hoping it happens soon. I haven't heard anything back yet, though. So I might send a message to the group to see if anyone else has heard anything. We did get the final cover for the anthology, which we're not allowed to share. It comes out on the 24th. We're doing a cover reveal on the 24th, so that's cool. Okay, so it is evening there. Well, welcome. I'm glad you could join me this evening. Yeah, there's nothing about when we should get our edits back from the editor. Final drafts are due July 24th, which is next day is the 24th. Hold on. Now I got to look at the calendar. 24th is not next Monday, but the Monday after. So we got about a week left. Problem is, next week for me is going to be really busy between fair and divisional. So I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to work on them if they are due Monday. Hopefully we'll get them before Friday, so I'll be able to work on it over the weekend in between swim meet stuff. But we'll see. We'll see. I know you're on the other half of the world. Which is fine. My main cover artist lives in Germany and the other one lives in Spain. So I cannot complain at all. I'm just glad you can join me. All right, let's do some sprints. I need to get this going. What am I working on today? I actually am going to be working on some Notion stuff. I've been creating a template that I want to share to people. I've been updating my own personal one. Been doing quite a bit of stuff, but I'm going to work on that today while we do a 25-minute sprint. That's not what I want. What the heck is Journeys? Whatever. I don't know what that is. Why did it open that? What? Go away. 25-minute 30. All right. Reset. Let's make this smaller. Yes, Ogre, I hear you. And we're going to make it shorter too. Alrighty. My mouse has been going crazy lately. I think I need to look into getting a new mouse possibly. because it has not been working right. All right, so today's first prompt is a hero and a villain put aside their differences so they can spend time with their kids in daycare. We're going to do 25 minutes on the clock. I am going to be working on my Notion project. Let me know what you're going to be working on today. Are you working on a short story, Nadim? I'm just curious and nosy, and I want to know all of the things, mostly because I am very forgetful. Anyways, hi, Ogre. What's up? All right, so here we go. We're going to do 25 minutes. Can you not? I'll let you out in just a second. All right, here we go. 25 minutes starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's write. Okay, that is time. How'd everyone do? What'd you do? Let me know in the comments below. All right. Let's see. I am working on my reading journal in my Notion, and I added a TBR list. So that's what I'm working on now, is updating my TBR list. I haven't used Goodreads in a very, 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 very long time. I've just been keeping track like on paper, but I am I have a lot of stuff and not as much room as all that stuff takes up. Um, so I'm trying to condense as much stuff as I can from paper products to digital. And I've already got a lot of my story related stuff on Notion. So I've decided to, like, I've been tracking my reading on Notion for about a year now, but I hadn't put my like TBR. Basically, the way I've been doing it is, since I read mostly ebooks, is I'll find a book I like and download the sample, and that acts as my TBR. Um, just keeping the sample on my Kindle acts as my TBR. So now I'm actually making a TBR list on Notion, which will make it a lot easier because I can then easily transfer it from my TBR to my actual reading journal when I do start reading it. And it also lets me know like what the cover looked like when I first found it, and putting descriptions and links so I can buy it and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so it just makes it a little easier for me. But that's what I'm working on there. Hello, Kiwi Lord. How are you today? Welcome, welcome. I don't think you've been on my channel before, or if you have, it's been a while, or it's been under another name. So, hi, welcome. Hello, Mama Ward. You're not late. You came in when you wanted to and when you need to, precisely when you were supposed to. So, I'm glad you got some weeding done and chores before it got too hot. So, speaking of that prompt, I need to take it down. And that's the hero and villain. Time to mark it off on my list. Alrighty. I am slowly filling up my prompt book with completed prompts. So, alrighty. Let's see. Nadim finished their dinner. That's awesome. You know what? Can't complain too much. Mama Ward, what are you working on today? I know that I saw an Instagram post where you had passed 75K on whatever you're working on. Like, your dedication with everything you've got going on in your life is amazing, and I love it. Now I'm gonna curious, and I'm gonna go be a nosy stalker and find out what exactly I read. Search. Let me search. There you are. You're hiding from me. Yeah, there it is. 75,000 out of 150,000. Holy crap. Oh, man. I can't. I don't know how you do it. Oh, because are you editing for camp, not writing? Did I misread that? It said writing, I thought. Gollum. Jamie. One moment, Ogre. I'll let you out during the next sprint. Okay. Ate a lot of food. I had my leftover Chinese from the other day. We got Chinese Friday night, because by the time we got finished with everything, like, I worked a 12-hour shift at work, and by the time I got finished with everything I needed to do, and my husband got off work, and neither one of us really felt like cooking. Plus, it was already like 7:00 at night, and we were like, I have to go to bed at 9 because I have to be up early in the morning. So, no, we went to the Chinese restaurant and got Chinese, and it was delicious. But I only ate about half of it before I was like, I'm hungry, but I'm too tired to eat. I'm going to bed. And I just finished the rest of it for breakfast like 10 minutes before my stream started. So I fail you on the eating and feeling uncomfortable because now I am there. Okay. Image says right, but is really editing. Okay, that's why I was confused. I thought maybe I misread, and I just wanted it to say writing because it said 150,000 words, and it's editing. Thank you for clarifying that for me, Mama Lord. Oh, man. I thought it was me. Coffee and banana works. That is perfect. I've been up since like 4:30, and I have had one Monster already, and I'm working on a Pepsi. I've done my planning for the week. I've done my planning for today, like my to-do list for today, which is fairly long. Let me pull it out real quick so you guys can see what I'm doing. And I've already started working on stuff. So like, if it'll show, this is my to-do list for today. Declutter the library, measure library for flooring, 4-H projects, which is not for me, it's for the girls because they got to finish their stuff because fair is this coming week. Like they have their interviews on Wednesday and they have their demos on Thursday. So we have got to get everything finished today because it's my only day off before fair. Get soda. I had to go to the store and get some soda because I was completely out. I thought I had some more, but I was wrong. Meal plan. Chester list for divisionals because after fair, we got fair Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we have divisionals in Chester for swim on Saturday and Sunday. So we're going to miss the fair events on Saturday and Sunday. And then I've got my Notion, the TBR list, which I'm working on now for during this. And I've got to do dishes and I've got to clean off the island. So that's my list of things I need to do today. And of course, Ogre started barking when we went live. He was quiet until I started talking to y'all. So today's going to be very busy for me today. So it is okay that I woke up at 4:30 because I've already gotten a lot done because of that. And I took video footage for a vlog of the library, what it looks like now. And I'm going to get as much done today as I can. The plan with the library, which is where I'm at. That's what we call the library because of all the built-in bookshelves. It is filled with stuff right now, including stuff that needs to go to the dump. Like the treadmill no longer works. It's just sitting there. It's giant. It's bulky. I have no idea how much it weighs, but it is heavy enough that I am going to wait until my husband gets back home from work to take it outside to put with the rest of the stuff that needs to go to the dump because I can't lift it on my own. And while it should come apart, it is so old and the bolts are rusted in that we cannot get it to come apart. So that is fun. So that's like 600 pounds of machinery we have to move. And then I would love to reorganize the bookshelves, but I have a feeling we have too many books to actually properly fit on the bookshelves. So one of the things that I was thinking is I no longer read physical books like at all. I can count on one hand how many physical books I've read in the past 3 years. So methinks what's going to happen. The only one that reads the physical books are my kids. And actually they're switching to ebooks as well for a lot of stuff, or they're getting more stuff from the library, whether it's from our local library or the school library. Methinks in order to save space, we're going to cut down our bookshelves to like favorites only and whatever my husband reads. Because if it's something my husband reads, since he does not read ebook or listen to audiobooks, we will keep his books, his physical books, because those are his books. And it's not just because those are his books. He doesn't read a lot, so I want to keep what he does read. Those are going to stay. But like stuff that's for me, I will get, especially like the stuff I do already have in ebook form as well. There's no reason for me to keep both. There's not. Let's see. Let me go let the dogs in before they continue barking. I'll be right back. Meow. 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 You coming in? You're barking so much. Okay. I stood there with the door open and he looked at me like I was an idiot. Like, what are you doing? With his head cocked and everything. Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm letting you in. You wanted in. Oh. Okay, let's see. It's complicated by the fact I have to make everything in these 2 books line up with a 3rd book because parallel series writing is hard. Yes, I feel that so much. Living in a place where power and internet goes out often, I will always have shelves for physical books. I am very lucky in the regard that we live up on a hill and it is windy as hell. My grandparents 25 plus years ago, planted all the trees that are here because they wanted a way to block some of the wind that came through. And they only planted trees on like the one side and a couple on the other side. And the only reason I remember how long ago it was is because it was the same year that I lived here when I was like between the ages of 5 and 7. And we watered those fuckers every day in 100+ degree weather. And it sucked so much because we stood out there for several hours watering these stupid fucking trees. And I love these trees. Don't get me wrong. I love them. But I hated doing that. And that's the only reason I remember is because we had to water all these trees for the 2 years I lived here. Because they were planted the same year I lived here. Oh, man. Ugh. But because of those, even though despite the amount of wind we get, because sometimes it's windy enough that some of these smaller trees are just flat against the ground. We've had hurricane level winds up here, even though it's not hurricane area. And the trees help block the wind. They help block out some of the heat. But despite all the snow, despite all the wind, and despite everything else, is we actually don't lose power here a lot. There's a generator here, and I'm not even certain it works anymore because it's been here since I was a kid, so back in 95, 97. And I was talking to one of basically my uncle. It was a family friend who basically helped out my grandparents a lot and were kind of sort of adopted by them. And now I call them my aunt and uncle. But I was talking to them, and they said that they can still count on their fingers how many times the generator was used since I was here as a kid, when I was like 5 or 7, or between the ages of 5 and 7. So we don't lose power here that often. And even when I was living in North Carolina, whenever we did lose power, we used to bitch about it a lot because it was one of those things where it's like, we know we live in hurricane territory. I don't know why our power isn't like built to resist it or whatever. I don't remember what we complained a lot. Okay. We just did. It was one of those things you do whenever the power went out, you would complain about it because it was one of those things where power would always go out at random times for no reason at all, except when there was friggin' hurricanes. Unless, of course, the tree fell down on a power line. We almost never lost power during a hurricane itself. It was just the most random times, and that's why we complained about it. That's why. I remember. But, and it was never for very long. It's like 2 hours. I think the longest we ever lost power was back when a tree took out the power lines. And even then, it was back up within 24 hours because our people, they are on it. That is the one thing I will say about North Carolina. Maybe it's because we do live in hurricane territory, but when power goes out, it gets back on quick. Lost power for 6 hours twice. Damn! Damn! You live in Colorado? Ohio? Delaware? Now I'm just naming random places. I feel like it's Colorado. And I feel like that's wrong too. That's the one that's coming to my mind. Because I want to say you're not too far away from me. And yes, Colorado is still far away from me, but it's not far away from me. Colorado. Oh, yes, I was right. I can't imagine that, though, because, again, you live in a mountain area, right? Excuse me. So you get all the mountain snow and stuff like that. You, like, know the kind of weather I get. I feel like you do. But I could be wrong. Oh, no. Anyways, I can't imagine this. Prairie. Okay. Colorado. Oh, okay. I know where Colorado Springs is. My grandmother's older sister. She had 2 sisters. One was a twin and one was older. Her older sister lives in Colorado Springs. So I know where that is because we visited them a couple years ago. Okay. So you understand my feeling about the wind. Oh, it was windy yesterday. When I got back home from all the fair cleanup, I was like, I'm glad it wasn't doing this while we were at fair cleanup. But it sucked. And then it rained. We don't get rain that often, but when it does rain, it's a nice bit of spit. All right. I'm going to get us set up for another sprint because we've just been yakking for a bit. Why isn't it doing my... No. That the one I want? Or is this the one I want? Ooh, this is the one I want. Okay. It's letting me choose. All right, here we go. Why does my screen look weird? Oh, that's why. Okay. It was doing a weird thing. Okay. Let's get my next tree set up. Okay, I got it. I said this at the beginning of my stream, but I figured out how to get the Forest app Chrome extension on my computer, and that's what I just literally started using it for that first sprint. So I'm still playing around with it, still figuring it out, but I'm making it work. Oh, one thing I do want to check real quick. I want to see if it is actually putting my trees in my forest on my phone. Because the whole point of doing this is if I need to be able to vlog. Is it syncing with my phone? Aw, I don't think it's syncing with my phone. This is going to make me sad. It's supposed to sync with my phone. But my phone says I haven't grown any. Oh, I haven't grown any plants today. Okay, that makes me sad. I'm going to have to figure that out. Okay. I've been using the Forest app to try to figure out, like, calculate how long it takes me to do various things. So that's why I want it to work, and I'm hoping it'll work, but I don't know if it will. Anyways, the other dog's barking. It's not because she wants to come in. She has obviously seen a deer or something and is just barking her head off of it. So we're going to go ahead and do our next sprint and get some stuff done. I'm going to continue doing the TBR list on my Notion project, and yeah. Here we go. 25 minutes on the clock. In 3, 2, 1, let's write. All right, that is time. How'd you do? What you do? Let me know in the comments below. Yep. I'm currently restarting my Kindle because it's saying that I have a sample that I know I got rid of, so that's fun. And I got rid of the sample because I bought the book. But now it's showing both the book and the sample of that book. So like it does this every once in a while and I always have to reset it. It's annoying. First world problems, yo. What did you all work on? Alaska had an earthquake and a tsunami warning that have now both. Oh my god, this just. Ugh. Okay. Oh, now my Kindle's gonna freak out. Yay, that's fun. All right, I got more of the TBR done. It's going slowly because what I'm doing is I'm not just adding in the stuff. I'm adding in the description, a link for the purchase. I'm adding in covers so I know what it looks like, so I can be like, oh, that's why it interested me. It has a cool cover because I'm very, very cover interested. Yeah. So. Okay, let's try this again. Kindle. I've been up. And of course, Gesture has been quiet the entire time I was sprinting. And now she wants to make noise again. She is a lovely dog, I swear to God, but sometimes she just irks me. I realized I had to move 2 scenes from the books I'm editing to the parallel book. Oof. Oof. That is rough. I am moving my mouse as if that is how I move my Kindle. It is still there. How do I get rid of it? How did I do this in the past? Oh, wait. It's supposedly already synced, though. It's synced. Why is this? I hate it when it does this. This is why I delete samples before I download books. Okay, I purchased the book, so why won't the sample go away? This is going to annoy me so much. I don't know why it won't go away. I don't know what she's barking at. Okay, apparently I needed to read to the end of the sample. Because now it went away. Okay, cool. All right, so note to self. If you get the sample of a book, and then you purchase said book without deleting the sample first, apparently, all you need to do is read to the end of the sample, and it'll have an option on your Kindle to view and store in read now. You just click the read now. I'm so annoyed with myself. This is not the first time this has happened. And usually what I do is I delete the sample, especially since now they won't let you buy directly from like your phone, which is where I find most of my books is on my phone. Now you have to do it. You can do it from the Kindle and you can do it from the desktop. And usually what I do is purchase through the desktop. So I have the page already open for me to buy usually. And I delete the sample first on the ebook Kindle before I purchase. That way I won't have this problem because it just showed both books beside each other and it was not going away. And yes, it bothered me a lot. All right, cool. I got it to go away. Now I can finish working on that without it driving me completely bonkers. So, cool. How'd y'all do? What'd y'all do? I know what you did, Mama Ward. You're dealing with stuff too. This is why I don't write time travel books, though, because I have noticed it. Well, I say that, and technically my fantasy that my husband really wants me to work on is a time travel portal book. So, I mean, I always knew it was a portal book, but it's technically a time travel book too, though no one knows that at first. That's one of the overarching mysteries of the entire series, is that it is time travel and just no one realizes it. Post-apocalyptic time travel too. Yay. So that's fun. Alrighty. That being said, I think now that I've fought with that for a little while, it is time to go ahead and do another sprint. Oh dear goodness. Arg, I'm going to have so many issues when I need to equalize the chapter length, because in the draft I have chapters between 1.2 to 3. Oh dear goodness. 500 words per chapter? That's some short chapters. My chapters are roughly anywhere from 2,000 to 3,500 words. No, 2,000 to 300. No. What do I usually write? My longest chapter is around 3,000 words. My shortest chapter is about 1,500 words. So 1,500 to 30. Yeah, what you wrote, 1,500 to 3,000 roughly. And I'm okay with that as long as all the chapters in that story are about the same length. That's the part that bugs me, is when like one chapter is 1,500 words and the next chapter is like 3,000 words. That's what bugs me. But as long as the chapters are all roughly within like 500 words of each other, one way or the other. So like if all the chapters average to about 2,000 words, and like some chapters might be a little less, some chapters might be a little more, that's okay. Oh, you mean kind of the way I do, like 500 words between like one way or the other. Okay, yeah. I gotcha. I love reading time travel books. It's just that I can't plot out the time travel without too many paradoxes. It's one of the reasons I haven't done that fantasy book series yet, because like it wasn't until I got to the end of the book and I wrote like the ending that I realized it was a time travel book, a time travel related book. And I was like, oh. There's a lot of reasons why I didn't finish that book or series. I wrote a short story that will end up being a full-length novel that was supposed to be like a sequel to it, dealing with the main character's children. But that's all done. 2.5 to 3K is my usual length. Yeah, mine is anywhere from, depending on the story, 1,500 to 3K. But as long as all the chapters within that story are about the same length, we're good. You have to chart to, wait. Yeah. I think what's going to help me with my time travel one is like, it deals with portals that are pulling people from the past to the present. And the people it's pulling from the past are pulling from different, kind of like an isekai. That's the closest thing. Like my husband's actually listening to a podcast that's an isekai D&D campaign, sort of. I don't know what to call it. It's not D&D, but whatever, where they're pulling like different people from different generations. Like they've got a samurai war from that time period. They've got Al Capone, the gangster, the gangster from Prohibition times. Al Capone, I think that's who it was. We got Al Capone. They've got Einstein. They've got like all these different people, historical figures from different time periods that have all been pulled into this one time period. I think that's why it's not going to be as complicated for me, because they're all within the same time period in the story. They're just pulled from another time period originally. Like actually, this was back before I started really doing a lot of like reading into the Lost Colony. And in 5th grade, we were literally taught, like the only thing we were talking about the Lost Colony in 5th grade that I can remember is that it was a colony of people. The person went away to England. He came back and everyone was gone. And the word Croatia was the only word written in history. Like, that's literally all we were taught about the lost colony before we moved on to the next subject, or something. That's paraphrasing it, but roughly, yes. And so, like, my child brain was like, what if the lost colony went into the future? Like, my brain stuck on that. And that's how this all started. Is the present time in the fantasy story is a post-apocalyptic time period where magic has returned to the world, dragons exist, and all these other fantastical creatures exist. And the dragons have the ability to open portals, and they have been pulling humans from different time periods. And that's where the lost colony went, is because one of the first dragon riders was Virginia Dare. Like, that's literally what the entire premise of the story. I was like, what happened to the lost colony, and what if dragons were involved? And that's exactly what happened. Dragons accidentally opened their first portal. They saw this child, this baby little girl, and they were like, this is a potential dragon rider bonding to a dragon. And because they pulled her, they had to pull, like, it takes a village kind of thing. They pulled the entire village to take care of this baby who was going to be the future dragon rider. And yeah, that's literally the entire premise of the first story. But and it's not actually, because the main character was someone who has come in years after her as the newest dragon rider, and he's broken. So, but I think because of that, because we're pulling in different people from different time periods into one post-apocalyptic dystopian fantasy realm story, I think it will make things a lot easier. I'm just overcomplicating it in my head. I read a book where people from the present and near past post-World War II are getting randomly pulled in. Yes, see, that's exactly. A lot of the isekai, I am, that is becoming a new genre, like, as far as like anime goes, that my husband is into currently. He has watched nearly anything he can find that deals with isekai, which is exactly that. Various people pulled from past into present, or other worlds. So it's a really interesting thing. Genre? It's a really interesting genre. And the more I think about the fantasy story that he liked, that I wrote when he and I were going to high school together, like, I typed it up in my computer class and he read the chapters as I finished them in that computer class. And that's why he wants me to work on it now. He's like, you need to do that story and you need to finish that series. If I were to work on any story, that's the one he wants me to work on. And it's like at the very bottom of my list of what I want to work on. But that's the one he wants me to work on. So once I get a couple different series that I've started finished, that is going to be my focus, because that is the story that was written. I won't necessarily for him, but he felt like it was, because I was writing it when he and I first started, like, being friends with each other before we even started dating. Like, we were not dating when I started writing this story, and he read it while we were dating as I was writing it. So that's why he wants me to finish it. That was the story that got him hooked. Yeah. But I think about it more and more, and that's what it feels like. It feels like an isekai in fantasy terms, basically, with some historical bits and bobbles here and there. Because, like I said, it was my reasoning for the lost colony disappearing back when I was a kid, basically, roughly around that time period. Anyways, let's do another sprint. I've been chatting on here for way too long, all things considered. So why do I keep closing things? You and a hot stranger are trapped in a that should be said. That should say elevator. Hold on. I mean, it could be hotel if you want it to be. Oh my goodness, I cannot spell. Elevator? I don't know if that's correct, but it's going to be correct for now. Trapped in an elevator together. That's what that should say. Elevator. The hotel would be interesting. Anyways. Most interesting group was the one on the cruise ship that crashed inshore and fell over. Only one group of people listened to the woman who figured out the stars were wrong. She got her group to leave the ship and head south before winter, while many people stayed waiting for rescue that would never come. Okay, so what book is this? Because I need to know. I'm just saying. I need to know what book this is. It's now going on my TBR. I can add it to my motion project. So I just want to see whose that is. Right? That sounds like a great story seed. That sounds like a great story seed. Okay, let's see. I got the timers up. Here we go. We're going to do 25 minutes on the clock, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, that's time. How'd you do? What you do? Let me know in the comments below. And I saw, Mama Ward, you found the books. Okay, so I found them on Amazon. They're in hardcover only, not available anymore. They're called the Doomsday Journals. I just used Google to find them as well, and they come up on Goodreads. Comet, Fireball, Final Warning, The Seep, Bedford Fever, Lost Valley, and Teacher's Guide is not one of them. That's by Marilyn Cosby, but it's under the same listing for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, that's interesting. That's interesting. I wonder if there's a way to get them. Ooh, thrift books. You can get all 6. It says out of stock for all of them. Never mind. Just kidding. You can't get them. Just kidding. Lake Publishing Company back in 1981. You know, like, the fact that you found them is kind of awesome, and I kind of want to know how you found them because, hi, Misty Kate. Yeah, we're going to do at least one more sprint, maybe 2, because I've only done 3 sprints today, and I have a lot of work I want to do in this TBR thing. I've only done 10 books out of, how many does my Kindle say I need to do? 140. So, and actually, that's not accurate. I have 140 left because I've been deleting them off my Kindle as I've been putting them in my TBR on the computer. I explained earlier how I did this, but basically, if I want to add a book to my TBR, I go to Amazon and download the sample. I'll probably never read the sample, but I download the sample so that I can see what the cover looks like. And when I go to purchase it, I will delete it off the sample off my Kindle before I actually make the purchase. But now I'm implementing that TBR list onto my Notion board and putting it all on there with the description so I can actually see when I'm in the mood if I really actually want to read it anymore, and as well as like links to how I found out about it, like who suggested it and stuff like that. But anyways, going back to Mama Ward, what you were saying, I kind of want to know how you found that, because a few years ago my mom was, she and I were in KFC and having a discussion about books, and she started talking about a book that she read when she was younger, and it's very similar to the premise of oh, I can't remember now. It's a dystopian book where people get to a certain age and they were retired, but that meant they were like killed off and turned into compost or something like that. I can't remember. But anyways, we were eating and talking about this book, and I asked the internet, like on my personal page on Facebook, what if anyone knew what the name of the story was, and a lot of people were suggesting the same one over and over again. And I remember her going, "That's not it." But yeah, I don't know. So I'm curious how you found out the name of the books, or did you just remember them as you were reading it, as you were doing stuff? Yeah, I had 152 samples to start off with, and I deleted a couple because I had purchased the books, but it hadn't deleted them off my Kindle yet, the samples off my Kindle, which is why I try to delete the sample first before purchasing the book, because for some reason it doesn't always delete them. And then it doesn't give you the option to remove from library once you've purchased the book. I don't know. It's very weird. My Kindle's also old, and it's probably due to the technology. But yeah, I have a lot of books I have to delete sample wise off my Kindle to make room for the 1,000+ books I bought during a sale that I recently learned about, where like a whole bunch of books by various different authors and various different genres were free. I talked about that in one of my vlogs that I have to edit and post, but yeah. And apparently this is a sale that goes on every quarter, if I understood right, twice a year, something to that effect. So the next time I hear about it, I did sign up for newsletter updates. The next time I hear about it, plus when that vlog comes out, I'll have the links to it in the description. But yeah, I don't know. I did finally have to get it to delete the sample. I had to read all the way through the end of the sample. And you know how it pops up that thing where it says like purchase now, view in store kind of thing? It had the option to read now. And as soon as I clicked read now and then closed out of everything, the sample disappeared. So I don't know why it was doing that, but it was. I'm pretty certain it was a glitch on my Kindle's part. You were the only one that checked them out from the library. You know what? Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Yeah, I don't. She can't remember the name of the book, and uh, I don't remember when I posted it on Facebook, so I can find her exact description because I'm paraphrasing what she said, but she could remember like in detail some of the things that happened in the story, and I wrote out those details on my Facebook page like word for word. And like Soylent Green was the one everyone was suggesting, and it wasn't Soylent Green. That's all I remember because we looked up Soylent Green. She was like, "That's not it. Similar concept, not the same." And I was like, "Okay, we'll keep looking." And we haven't found it yet. 2 years later, we're still looking every once in a while. It was one she remembered reading as a kid, though, and that was I think it was kind of like that same thing. She found it in the school library, read it, and she could remember it. And then actually, there's one on my sample list that was also from her childhood that, like, the concept of so cool that I want to read it too. Let's see if I can find it. I think it's called Repeat. Yeah, Repeat by Neil Pollock. That was one where every once in a while we have these discussions about books we remember reading. That was one where we found she couldn't remember the name of it. She couldn't remember anything but the premise. And I searched long enough and that we actually did end up finding it. So every once in a while we do that kind of things. Ooh, that's an idea. I don't have a subscription to ChatGPT though. But that is an idea. I have never thought about doing that. I might have to do that. Like ChatGPT only lets you do so much on the free version. I don't even think I can do anything else on the free version. I don't remember. It's been a while since I looked at it. Oh, I never thought about using it to look up like books though. I'm gonna have to tell my mom about that too because there are a bunch of books. Like she'll tell me everything she remembers about it, and we go on a hunt looking for these books. Repeat just happened to be one we found, but she'll tell me about these books all the time. Don't need a subscription. I only have the free. Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to try that then and tell her about it so she can try it because that's literally what we do. We do it's basically become a game for us where we'll sit down and talk about books that we remember reading as in school or when we were younger, and then try to see if we can find them nowadays. Like I've got her hooked on a bunch of the short stories I remember reading in school that I now memorize the names of. But back then, when I was trying to describe them to her, I was like, I have no idea what the name of this book is or this story, but I remember reading it, and here's exactly what happened in it. School book hunts, yes. I want to make like I have actually a collection on my computer in a Scrivener file that's called what did I call it? That book by that guy, because that's literally the game that we play. Is it's that book by that guy. And I have collected all of the short stories that I remember reading in school, in high school. We did a lot of short stories. Like we were doing one short story every 2 weeks or something like that. And so I started collecting the names of the short stories that we were studying. And I wish I still had my syllabuses because all of the stories were mentioned in the syllabus. But I no longer have the syllabuses. And that's exactly. I hear noise. One of my children is awake. I don't know which one. Anyways, but yeah. And I don't necessarily want to publish it because I don't know how that the rights for that kind of stuff works. I do know that when we read them, that all the stories were like on public domain sites. But I think it would be so cool to have like a collection of stories like that in a physical format. I might do it for me alone and put it on my Kindle so I can read through all the stories like The Veldt by I think it was Ray Bradbury or Isaac Asimov. I get those two, the stories by which author mixed up. The Veldt, Monkey's Paw, uh, All Summer in a Day, Rain, Rain, Go Away, um, The Magi's Gift, like those kind of stories, The Scarlet Ibis. Those were the ones I remember reading in high school and even middle school a lot. And then she'll tell me about some short stories that she read that she can't. Again, we play that book by that guy game where we try to figure out what the name of the story was. All what's the one with the butterfly effect? It's Thunder something. Like that's how the concept of the butterfly effect started because it was this time traveler who went back in time and they were not supposed to step off the path and he did, and he stepped on a butterfly. They were hunting T-Rexes. It's not the thunder rolls, damn it. Why is that song stuck in my head? Anyways, yeah, it's probably on that list too. But over the years, I've just slowly been collecting all those kind of stories, and I think it'd be cool to put them in like a collection and put them on my ebook reader, just so I can read them when I want to. I'll add Beauty and the Beast to it because I have my copy of the French version of the Beauty and the Beast. Like, it's in French, and I can still read it in French. It's probably the only story I can read in French right now, but you know what? That's okay. I remember there's several stories about all the reducing species down to one gender or made room for. Okay, hold on. Let me go look it up. I probably have it. It's. Oh, that book by that guy. Let's see. Eveline, The Gift of the Magi, Necklace, Skye, Ibis, If. Okay, I'm missing story names. I've been slowly transferring files, so I know they're somewhere. They're just not necessarily on this computer. Sound of Thunder. Sound of Thunder is the name of the book. And it's by Ray Bradbury. It's by Ray Bradbury. I knew I had it. Like, I have a bunch of Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov stories listed. So, yeah. That's where a lot of my stuff is from, is Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov. I want, like, I have, hold on. I have, see, okay, I gotta look at the screen so I can see. I have the Necronomicon, which is like the complete works of the best weird tales of H.P. Lovecraft. So it's not all of them, but it's like his top stories. And I want this, but with Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov, like all of their short stories in one big, giant biblical collection. Like, that's what I want. I want Ray Bradbury and Isaac Asimov version of Necronomicon. Like, this is a big book. I am only right. Someone took my bookmark out. Fudge. $148? Because I can't read many of these at a time. These ones creep me out. It's something, The Horror in the Red Hook. I read that one. So I am on, because I was just before Call of Cthulhu, The Color Out of Space. So I'm like this far into this big biblical version of a book. But this is what I need, like a complete works of Ray Bradbury and a complete works of Isaac Asimov, because I bet you anything I would love almost everything they write, because everything I've read by them I have loved so far. Which one did I read this year? I listened to it on audiobook. I have to go look at my reading log to see what I read earlier this year. I think it was Martian Chronicles. I think it was the Martian Chronicles, but I'm not positive. I've read so many books, I have to click the load more. Oh, maybe it wasn't this year. Maybe it was last year, because I'm definitely not seeing it on my list. I think it was last year. Fudge. Which means it's not on my tracker yet. Oh, I could have wrong. I could have lied. That is not what I wanted to do. I don't know. I thought I wrote one, but I can't find it. So, oh yeah, it was the Martian Chronicles. It was the Martian Chronicles that I read. So, and it was last year. But yeah, that's pretty much what is going on. Yes, the Sci-Fi magazine. I'm pretty certain the ones I read, like Sound of Thunder and The Veldt and all of those, were originally published in the Sci-Fi magazine. Like that's where he wrote most of his works, if I remember right. Ooh. I remember reading a book where a time traveler came back to the future after communicating with it. Interesting. Hi, Persephone. Welcome. Well, hello, moth. Did it land on me? Did it fly past me? I hope it flied past me. Anyways, I don't see it on me. Okay. I built a fan fiction AO3 tracker on Airtable just for so. Yeah, that's what I've been trying to do. Is I've been trying to build my reading journal as well as like my story tracker on Notion. I did finish the story tracker and I will be sharing it soon. But now I'm doing the same thing with the reading tracker so I can share them both at the same time, basically. And I got to figure all that stuff out because while I've figured out how to share them, I haven't figured out how to share them properly where they don't break. Because I've been sharing them with a couple people here and there, and every time I have them like test it out to see if they can break it, they do, and I'm like, fuck, I fucked something up somewhere. So I have to fix them. And once I can hand it to them and they don't break it, then I will be sharing it for realsies. All right, let's do another sprint because I've been chatting too long about stories and that book by that guy and stuff like that. So here we go. We're going to do another sprint. I'm going to hide this one. Did I mark this one out? You and a house stranger trapped in an elevator. That's nope. I did not mark it out. All right. Here we go. Next prompt. Got the timer up. We are ready to go. Where is my timer? All right. Did I change my tree? Nope. Need to change my tree. Ghost tree. All right. Here we go. We're going to do another sprint and 25 minutes on the clock. You can write whatever you want to write, edit. I am working on a TBR list, so not going to fault you for anything you want to do. All right. Here we go. 25 minutes. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Okay, that is time. Let me know what you did and how you did in the comments. Me fix myself. I actually do not see that one written in my book. I'm going to leave that for a second. Okay, anyways. Okay, let's see. I got some more books added to my TBR and added a brand new one to my TBR. So that was fun. Oops, wrong thing. Clicked on the wrong thing. So now I'm sitting at 13 out of 150 books on my TBR. And I think that's where I'm going to stop for today. I also got a video idea that I kind of sketched out some ideas for, or some thoughts for. Journaling some morning pages for that sprint. Nice, Persephone. 151 words. Writing down a dream. Not bad. Most of my stories come from dreams, so I cannot complain about that at all. Gonna go run the dogs out before it storms. I'm probably actually wrapping up for the day. I've already been streaming for 2.5 hours now, and I do have a lot of stuff. At the very beginning of the stream, I showed what I need to do today, and I got a lot of stuff to go work up. Jeez. I can't even talk now. Plus, I'm like out of drink, and I need to get something refreshing. Looking at words in Tuscan Italian. Ooh. A banana peanut butter kiss it. You made what? A banana peanut butter quesadilla. Ma'am, I need to see this in a vlog or a video because I don't believe you. That just sounds weird to me. And it shouldn't. I make quesadillas all the time. But in my mind, I'm thinking, like, I know you don't put cheese on it. I realize this. I know. But in my mind, I'm literally thinking it's got banana, peanut butter, and cheese on a tortilla. Like, that's literally what my brain is going to, even though I know that's not what it is. Banana, peanut butter, that sounds delicious and wrong all at the same time. Caramel sauce for dipping. Ma'am. I need this in my life. Like, I don't have any bananas except for my daughter's banana bread, but I need this in my life. Cream cheese? Ugh. That sounds delicious. And I can't have it because I don't have the ingredients. And I'm not going to be able to get them before next payday, which is Friday. But Friday's budget is like already like tight because of the fact that it's divisional weekend. So, Nina, hi. You got here just in time for me to be like logging off soon because like I've done 3 sprints. I had 4 prompts. How many? Yep. I've done 4 sprints. And I've been streaming for like almost 3 hours now. And so I need to go ahead and get off here. But thank you for coming. And I'm sorry that YouTube didn't notify you. I have to like once I know when someone's streaming, I have to put alarms in my phone if I want to catch their stream. And 90% of the time I can't catch their stream anyways because of the fact that I'm always doing stuff. Because like this is next week. Let me show y'all what next week is looking like. Like this is next week's schedule. And the only reason why Saturday and Sunday and Friday evening are not full is because Friday evening we are driving to Chester because my husband has work over the weekend. I did not put that on my schedule since he and I will not be in the same spot and he will have the car. So the girls and I are camping out at the swim meet place because they have divisionals on Saturday and Sunday. So I don't know what our electricity is going to be like because we're camping out, and I don't know what I'll be doing that weekend because of that. So, like, I don't have anything sketched in, but look how busy this shit is. Look how busy. There is no break. Kill me now. This is the kind of planning I have to do every week, though, because we only have one vehicle and I have to make sure that everyone gets where they need to be when they need to be there. So I do this every week before I like do my weekly planning. So yeah. So Misty Kate, speaking of prompts, Mama Ward suggested that I make like a writing prompt book, like a nonfiction release a writing prompt book. And especially with like the prompts that I did not pull from other places, or like ones that I have taken and tweaked to either make them short enough to fit in the whatchamacallit? What is it called? They have the character limit. So I shorten them to make them fit into the character limit. So I think I will be doing that. But the ones that I've straight up pulled and used the exact same prompt, I will not be doing that with. I think I will be making a prompt book in the future. I don't know when. I've got to go through and find out which ones I've written down all of the prompts I've ever used on my streams, plus others that I want to use. And I got to go out through them and see which ones that I came up with or tweaked versus ones that I pulled straight from sites. And I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. You're right, Mama Ward. I know that's what's going to happen. I'm still going to be in charge of everyone's. And it wouldn't be so bad if we had a second vehicle. It really wouldn't. But making sure everything works with only one vehicle is why it's so difficult. If there is a Nano playlist, I don't know where it is. However, that being said, let me pull up something for you real quick and put it in the comments. Because there is something I know is made. There it is. Open. And I have not put it into the description yet. I keep forgetting. Link copied. There we go. I think that's what I want. This. So when Devin's channel got suspended, Frozen account was when he got banned from YouTube. I don't remember exactly what happened. Cat Leo, them and some other people came up with this spreadsheet, and Cat, I think, is the main one working on it. And it does have stuff for today. It does have all of the playlists for today, as well as like the rest of this week. So you could look it up there. I have it saved to my computer. Not computer, but like on links and stuff. Cool. So, yeah. Oh, Mama Ward just put up the link too. So, yeah. But yeah, eventually, I don't know when it's going to come out, but I will be putting out a prompt book. I don't know when. It's like a back burner. It's a back burner project right now. But I am working on it just because Mama Ward said I should do it. And I'm working on a couple other things just because people are like, you should do this. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. So that's what I'm doing. Desk blotter calendar to keep track. Yeah, I don't keep track of the streams anymore because basically what happens is I have time to do my stream and that's pretty much it. I don't even go back and rewatch streams anymore. I don't have the time for it. I barely keep up with the videos that people put out by themselves. So I'm more likely to watch a video that someone puts out than a live stream. I hate to say it, and I'm sorry. Don't hate me. Oh, YouTube overlords won't let AuthorTube just have a playlist for sprints. Yeah. It's probably because they were making playlists but never posting. Like, I realized why they were doing that, but at the same time, that might be part of it, because I see people making playlists all the time. But I think because Devin's channel wasn't putting out any content as well, and none of the content in the playlist were their own, if that makes sense. Because they probably saw it as a way for them to do, I don't know. I don't know then. That was my suggestion. But if you did the same thing, Misty K, I don't know. I really don't. All I know is that was their solution, was the spreadsheet, and it's working so far. So, and I've got to check it. I've around this time period, around NaNoWriMo and both camps, YouTube likes to suggest a lot of videos to me from people that I've never seen before that are like posting their camp goals or their NaNoWriMo goals. And I love those videos. Like, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love watching those videos. I will save them to a queue and watch them as I can get to them here and there. And sometimes I continue watching those people's channels and sometimes I don't. But like content used without permission of creator. Oh, I bet you anything someone reported him. Someone reported him. That's why. And claimed that he was trying to take their content. Bastards. Anyways, what was I talking about? Fudge. I forgot what I was talking about. That's gone. Train of thought derailed. There were no survivors. That sucks. Yeah, I have really no idea what I was talking about before I saw that comment. Oh well. Anyway, I need to wrap this up. Oh, YouTube Rex, thank you. So I need to go back through and see if any of the videos I've watched recently are channels that are listed on that spreadsheet. Because if not, I need to go ahead and send an email to Cat Leo and say, hey, these persons are need to be added to this list. Because the list, not only does it have the streams listed, but it like has a list of every person who is a writer who's part of AuthorTube, who may not even like be part of AuthorTube, if that makes sense. Like, they're not posting content to be part of AuthorTube, they're just posting writing content, if that makes sense. And see if they're on there and get them on there if they're not. Karen reported him for not having only her stream at certain times because sometimes streams happen at the same time. Fucker. Sorry. By the way, if you don't notice, I cuss a lot. And yes, I know YouTube doesn't like it when you do. I understood what you did there. And it was a total bitch move. Karen's got to be a Karen. And I think it is hilarious, by the way, that the term for like that kind of stuff where people are being just absolute dickheads is a Karen. Because oh man, now I want to see it. Her video complaining about Devin not giving the OG AuthorTuber's preference disappeared. See, the problem with that, I want to know who it was. The problem with the OG AuthorTubers is because there's people I've been following for years. I have been technically part of AuthorTube myself for, is this year 6 or 7? One of the two. And even before I was on here, there were people who were making writing related videos. I don't think the term AuthorTube even came about until after I was already doing videos. And some of these people who call themselves OG AuthorTubers actually aren't OG AuthorTubers. They're just the first people who were saying that they were AuthorTubers, because even before then, there were people talking about their writing on their channels. And that's the part that irritates me the more. I really hate it when people say OG AuthorTubers for that reason. Oh! The sad part is a lot of the people that, like 90% of the people I watched when I first started watching YouTube videos who were talking about writing real stuff are not on here anymore. And they're the ones I would technically consider the OG AuthorTubers, and they're not even on here anymore. That sucks. And yes, gatekeepers, yes! Fuckers. Oh, I want to know who it was so bad. Mama Ward, you're going to have to message me. If you know who it was, tell me so I can be like, that bitch. Because I loved that. Devin's channel was how I found out about a lot of people. And when they were streaming back when the pandemic first happened. and everyone started streaming. Like, that was the way I was able to keep up, was Devin started putting all these playlists together. It was amazing, and I loved it. Loved it. Gatekeepers and Karen go hand in hand. Back to what I was saying about the Karen thing. I love the fact that people are called Karens, because that is my grandmother's name. The person who owned this house, her name was Karen. And in a way, I don't remember her being the Karen stereotype, but at the same time, like, I could totally see her being the Karen stereotype, just because, like, she was set in her ways and she was not going to change those ways for nobody. So, like, I could see her being the Karen type in today's age if she were still alive, but at the same time, she wasn't a Karen in a way a lot of people consider Karens, because she was a manager herself and did not like half the shit that people pull on managers and stuff like that. So, like, it's hilarious in my opinion. I don't know who it is for certain, but if it is who I think it is, her group are massive gatekeepers because they think only properly educated people should be authors, and trad is the only. Oh, fuckers. Because of what you just said, there's like 4 people that I think it might be. And now I want to know if it's one of those 4. Like, ah! But that being said, I'm actually not subscribed to a lot of the bigger channels for that kind of reason, because, not to say that they don't know their shit. No, I'm not saying that at all. But there are a lot of these bigger author tubers, and what I consider big is not 1,000 subscribers. When I say big, I mean people who are like 40, 50,000 subscribers. I think that's the right number. 50K and up. Like, those are the people I think about when I think of big channels. And there are several. There's one I literally unsubscribed from her channel because she would talk a lot of shit about various things in publishing. Like, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this. And when I read that person's writing, I was like, you're doing the exact same thing in your writing that you shit on people about, saying that they should never do. And you do it constantly in your own writing. Like, and this is like a published book after you put out these videos saying, don't do this. Like, what are you doing? You are not the person to break that mold. Because not only were they doing it, they were doing it badly. So, but I digress. Like, that's the kind of stuff I hate and why I'm not subscribed to. Or if I am subscribed to a lot of these bigger channel people, like, I don't read their works because I cannot separate their works from the person, if that makes sense. It's hard for me to separate in AuthorTube YouTube area. I don't know why it is, because in real life I can, but in the YouTube area, I can't so much. It's harder for me to separate the person and what they're saying you should and shouldn't do in writing and publishing and all that stuff from the works that they write. And I don't have a really good reason why it's hard for me to do that. It just is. So, especially with like these bigger channels, if they're giving any kind of advice videos, I either watch them for their advice videos and never read their books, or if I do read their books, especially like if it's a book I enjoy, I don't watch their videos. So it's, I've unsubscribed from a lot of the bigger channels for that reason. I just prefer the smaller channels. Also because it pumps up their stuff and lets them know, hey, we are listening. So you're cool. I know 3 Karens and they are the sweetest people ever. I feel so bad every time I use Karen to describe the bees of the world. Say, oh, wasn't Kate C. She knows who I think of because. Oh, okay. One of these days I will get on Twitch, because I feel like Twitch would be so much easier in some ways, but at the same time, the setup for Twitch is harder. Like, there's so many more things you can do with Twitch streams. Like, I love it when the little icons are for the people commenting and watching. All right, phone. When you're watching a live stream and you're commenting and your little icon pops around and jumps around on the screen, I absolutely think that's adorable, and I love that, and I want that, but you can't do that on YouTube. You can only do that on Twitch. So one of these days I will figure out Twitch. I just need to contact Sarah and Sarah Sean Weber. If you don't know who that is, she's a self-published horror author, and she does Twitch streaming like nonstop. But she and her husband, that's what they do for a living, is Twitch stuff. So I need to get in contact with her and just have her walk me through it one day. But our schedules are so different from each other. We've never been able to like coincide stuff. Yes, also that's also why. Oh, that was another one. There's a trad author tuber right now who in their very early videos that I now can't find, those videos have disappeared. They talked about how they would never ever consider self-publishing because it was just shit. They're now self-publishing. And those videos that where they shit on in indie publishing and self-publishing, those videos have disappeared from their channel. And I'm like, you fucking hypocrite. Urgh! Oh, yep, Kat does Twitch stuff too. Oh. Oh, hi, Ogre. Hi, baby. You just gonna sit beneath my chair? You're lucky I didn't roll over your feet. All right, guys. I've been on here way too long. I have now been on here for 3 hours. In like another minute, I'll have been on here for 3 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm done bitching about people and hypocrisy and, you know, why I won't watch a lot of the larger channels. And that's not to say I don't watch some of their videos, because the channels themselves have a lot of great videos. I actually have a list that I keep of people who every once in a blue moon I go check out their channel to see what they're talking about, to see what they've done video wise lately. I'm just not subscribed to their channel, and I don't watch a lot of their videos because A, I don't have the time to watch that many videos, and B, I'm very selective about what I do watch because of that. So if you watch a video, if you make a video and you upload it and you're a smaller channel, there's more chances of me watching it than the big channel videos. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me for this last like 30 minutes of ranting. That was a big healthy sigh. I'm gonna go do some chores now and get some stuff done and figure shit out. I'm gonna get my life together in some way, shape, form, or fashion. I hope you guys all have a great day and get some work done, whatever you are working on, whether it's editing, writing, chores, life in general. Tea time stream, yeah. One day I'm actually going to do like a tea time stream where we talk about nothing but that, but not today. Anyways, take care, everyone, and I will see you guys all not next week or the week after, because divisionals in state for swim is next week and the week after, but I will come back possibly in August with more streams, and I haven't figured out what time I'm going to do them yet. I won't know that until I figure out what the soccer schedule is going to be like. Soccer signups are on the 25th. Yes, 25th of this month. So once I've got that schedule, then I will figure out my streaming schedule for August. But I will see everyone sometime in August, whenever that is. Anyways, take care, everyone. Bye. Oops. Helps if I press the right